Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today, I thought it would be fun to have, well, I don't know about fun, considering some of the topics we are going to get into, but I thought it would be fun to just go over some of the movies I will never watch again. And I feel like you could come across movies that you will never watch again for a few reasons. Either it's just not a very well made movie, maybe you just didn't enjoy it and it's something you will never watch again. But this list consists mostly of movies that I will never watch again based on content. Not necessarily because the movie is terrible, although we got one on the list that I just don't think is a good movie. But you either have things that fall into two categories when it comes to movies you will never watch again. Either you just didn't enjoy it, it just wasn't a well-made movie, you just didn't like it, or there's some type of content in the movie that maybe you just aren't good at stomaching it, or you just don't want to stomach it. So for me, this list is mostly comprised of movies I will never watch again based on content. Now, wait 1 second. Something just popped in my head. Let me check something. Okay. Let me see. I was watching The Flash and I got a signal that you were live. I put it on pause to listen to you. Well, thank you for showing up, Equalizer. Thank you for putting the Flash on pause. Now, is it the Flash TV show or the Flash movie? But let's get into this. We aren't going to be here very long. Movies I will never watch again. We are going to start with Requiem for a Dream, a 2000 drama, psychological torture horror. We have Marlon Wayans in Requiem for a Dream. I am the biggest fan of Marlon Wayans when he does dramatic acting. I mean, I'm just a fan of Marlon Wayans in general, but I really feel like he is so massively talented when it comes to the dramatic roles he does, and I don't think he does them enough. Marlon Wayans' dramatic acting, like bar none, he comes across as like the most talented, just massively, like he should be a huge star. And we have Jennifer Connelly here. We also have Jared Leto. Requiem for a Dream is not a movie I will never watch again because it's not a good movie. It is a very well made movie. I cannot call movies of a certain subject matter a good movie. I mean, that's just me, because if I say something is good, that means it was enjoyable. I was entertained. I cannot be entertained by certain content. That is just me. So objectively, this is a well-made movie. If you're not very sensitive to, we have all kinds of like drug use and different things in the movie, addicts. If you're not sensitive to certain topics, check it out. And honestly, as I was watching the movie and going through the movie, and I saw this years and years and years ago, but as I was going through the movie, it was not anything content-wise that I could not really handle. It's a pretty bleak type of story, but it wasn't anything that really disturbed my sensibilities. However, when we get to I'm sorry, guys, this entire video will contain spoilers for these movies. So if I pop up a title you have never seen and are interested in seeing, mute. The entire video will be spoilers. But the movie is, I'm fine. I'm going through the movie, and honestly, when I saw this, I want to say I was like a teen. And in my teen movie fan days, I was not one for what I would call storyline movies. If it wasn't action, something really happening, I would call it boring, and it wasn't my kind of movie. So at the time I saw this, it wasn't even my cup of tea, and I was very engaged, like hooked from the moment the movie started. And this is also one of those movies that I randomly watched. I had never heard of, didn't really know what it was about. This was back in the days when I would just be scrolling like Showtime, HBO, and something would be playing, and I'd be like, oh, okay, what's this? So very engaged. And as I'm watching it, I'm feeling like I'm into this. This is a great movie. Baby, we get to the very end of the movie. And I haven't seen it in ages. So to the best of my memory, all the characters are going through certain things. And if I remember correctly, Jennifer Connelly and Jared Leto were drug addicts. And I cannot for the life of me remember what happened to Jared Leto character, but I feel like maybe he wanted to go get clean and Jennifer Connelly wanted to still be on drugs. I cannot for the life of me remember, but I do remember the scene that makes this a movie I will never see again. Jennifer Connelly is trying to get drugs. She needs money for drugs. And you know how if you're a drug addict, you will basically do anything for drugs. Her and another young lady go to perform at, I don't know if it was a bachelor party or just a bunch of creepy men getting together. Like I see the scene in my head, but I can't recall the context of why these men were partying. But it was a bunch of men partying with Jennifer Connelly and this young lady. There was a scene with a plastic adult toy. And I found not just like the entire context of the scene, not even just the visuals. I found it so disturbing. It isn't anything from my memory explicit in the young ladies with this thing, but it is a scene where the guy has the toy and he's like shalopping Vaseline or lube. There's something he's shellacking on it to give to the girls. And I was so disturbed watching this. Like, y'all really finna do this in front of these men for money? Like, the whole context of following these characters, Jennifer Connelly getting here and being like desperate for money to perform for these men. I was so disturbed and disgusted. Requiem for a Dream is a movie I will never watch again. And it pretty much all falls on that final scene. That is pretty much to my memory how the movie ended. We came to that scene at the end where Jennifer Connelly is performing for these men, for me, at rock bottom. Because I mean, what's more rock bottom than the acts that she was doing in this scene strictly just for money? So I absolutely positively massively love and am so obsessed with Marlon Wayans' performance in this movie. I absolutely love him when he does dramatic roles. I mean, even when he was in that Aretha movie, which I did not think was a very good movie, him though in that movie was amazing. He is so talented when he is in his dramatic bag. But yeah, movie I will never watch again. The second movie that I will never watch again is Martyrs, 2008 horror movie. Now, Martyrs is that movie I will never watch again for two reasons. And honestly, the only reason I saw this movie again, didn't really know what I was finna look at. I actually saw this for the first time 2-3 years ago. Never heard of it. Randomly came across it one day when I was just looking for something to watch. And Martyrs is a horror movie that follows these two girls, these two friends, right? And if memory serves, they're both victims of like childhood abuse. However, one girl in particular was kidnapped and tortured as a child, and she wants to get revenge on the people who did this to her. So she takes her and her friend to go track these people down, go to their house to exact revenge, right? Now, it's like a 50-50. Half of the reason why I will never see Martyrs again is because honestly, I just didn't like the movie. I thought it was boring. I wasn't very into it. it just wasn't anything I was enjoying. There is certain moments when we get to the house of the people we're getting revenge on. We have a little sequence that's pretty enjoyable, but the other half of the reason why I will never see Martyrs again is when it comes to content in movies, I'm not one that's very squeamish or up in, arms about violence in movies. Like, y'all already know. Give me violence all day. Like, give me violence all day. But honestly, one thing that does disturb my sensibilities a bit is unnecessary violence against women. Particularly, I don't know, I feel very yuck about the way it's filmed sometimes. Like, it's filmed in a way that I feel like to the male gaze is like sexy in a way. Like, that's also why I don't like SA scenes graphically filmed in movies, because it's kind of like those horror movies. They don't do it as much these days. They did it in that new Winnie the Pooh movie, but they don't do it as much now. But back in the day, horror was notorious for killing like a topless woman. Oh my God, I used to hate that. So even as a child, it just felt so disgusting. And I felt like men were watching it and getting off on seeing a woman like being like stabbed and stuff. Like what gets her titties out to die? Like, why is her titties out to die? I hate that so much. But there is, okay, so basically the people come in, we try to attack them. They have kids themselves. And the girl who comes back to get revenge on these people, she ultimately gets killed. And the friend that came along with her is captured. And basically, we have this, like, if memory serves, I don't know if they were a cult, a religious group, but they pretty much take this young lady. It's hard for me to even think about. Hold her in the basement and torture her. And I am perfectly fine. I won't say that it's unnecessary violence, because the violence that is done to her does serve a purpose. What makes it unnecessary for me is it feels like such an extended scene of violence, and it feels so visceral. This man, like hulked up Vin Diesel ass man, keeps coming down there where she's being held at, punching her in the face, just brutalizing her. And I would be fine because it does serve a purpose. They're pretty much looking for her to be like, I don't even know what to compare it to. Who is somebody like in religion that Joan of Arc? Like, what did Joan of Arc do? I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody. But they basically want to bring her on like the edge of death and pain so she can become like a otherworldly goddess woman, Jesus Christ. It's something like that. I'm probably explaining it so weird, but it's weird. It is weird. But he keeps coming down there, beating the girl down, and she's getting like skinny, and it's horrible. And I can never watch this movie ever again because, like I said, I just didn't enjoy it. I honestly thought it was pretty boring. But also this scene in particular with the violence done to this young lady, it is such an extended scene. And then after they're like torturing her down there, we bring her somewhere else and we're like shaving her head. Like they're doing like weird stuff to the girl. It's very, very, very odd. And I didn't enjoy it. I will never watch it again. Now we go to The Pianist from 2002. If I'm not mistaken, this is based on a true story. It's like a biography docudrama. We pretty much follow Adrien Brody as a, Polish Adrien Brody trying to survive in the concentration camps and, the Holocaust and World War II. Was it two? I'm not a historian. I think it's World War II. But this is an Jesus Christ, amazing movie. I mean, brilliant movie all around. Jesus. But I cannot stomach watching things that are very close to like traumatic, horrifying things that happen to people in real life. Like Jewish people were actually in concentration camps, separated from families killed. I remember in middle school, I'm so mad that I don't know what the book was, but I think it's famous, so maybe somebody knows. But I read a book in middle school that was the true story of this kid that survived in the concentration camps. Oh my God. I never, like, that book was so, oh, like I can't stomach stuff like that. Like, it will make me hate people. Like, it will literally make me hate people. But that's pretty much the story in The Pianist, except he's not a child. It's Adrien Brody and him and his family just living like a regular family lives. And you know, the whole thing that happens where I think at first, and I don't know if it's in this movie, I haven't seen this movie for ages, but the way all this went, to my understanding as a non-historian, is like it started small, then escalated. Like, you had to be labeled Jewish or something like that. You had to like wear something that signified you were Jewish, and then like property was taken, and then they made these like ghettos and put Jewish, like, it was a whole like escalation, and we followed that happening to Adrien Brody and his family in this movie. And Adrien Brody is a pianist, and he's with his family, and then something happens where the soldiers come and is taking everyone away, and we have no idea where we're going. And somebody that knows Adrien Brody character pulls him out of line, away from his family, and I'm gonna cry thinking about it, because it makes me think of people in real life. Like, I hate watching slavery or Holocaust, like anything that really happened. I hate watching it, but he never sees his family again. The person that pulled him out of line saved his life. And we literally watch him get skinny, work in these concentration camps. I mean, horrific. And he ends up, like, let's jump. He ends up in this area where the city has been like bombed, and he's pretty much staying there with rats. It's just him by himself. And he finds this piano. Like, it's so beautiful. It's so tragic. It's so sad. And he ends up coming across this soldier. And of course, like, my heart stopped. He ended up playing a Mocha piano. And then we look up and it's a soldier, and I'm like, like, as I'm watching the movie, I don't know if Adrien Brody character will survive. Like I said, I think it might be based like a biography. I'm not sure. But you know how you can just create a fictional character for like a real event. So I don't know if that's what they did for the movie or what. So as I'm watching it, I don't know if he's going to live. But the soldier actually ends up helping Adrien Brody. And then you jump to later in the movie, Adrien Brody is in a position to help the soldier. The soldier has been captured. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll never watch this movie again, because it is just so depressing for me. Like, I know it's probably so contradictory, because I am such a horror fan, and like the most goriest, violent, crazy horror. But anything that's like a tearjerker, that's like something really happening to people, like, my literal soul cannot take it. Like, it will bother my spirit. Like, for real. Like, I will be in a depression. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's so weird, but I will just feel it so deeply. I saw The Pianist and was depressed for like 6 months. I'm exaggerating, but I just cannot handle watching things like this. I feel like it sticks with me, and I don't like that. Like, I can see people get ripped up, chopped up in a horror movie, and it won't stick with me. I can go to sleep and sleep like a baby. But when it comes to stuff like The Pianist, it kind of sticks. Now, along the same accord, child, a movie I will never see again, Rosewood. From 1997. This is also like biography drama. It tells the true story of the white lynch mob that massacred a Black community in Rosewood, Florida. And as like I went my pretty much whole life hearing and knowing about this story, and I saw it for the first time right when ninth grade started. And I was going to an all-white high school at the time, and it was a performing arts high school. And I went for creative writing, and I was the only Black person in my creative writing classes. And I saw Motherfucking Rosewood. Baby, I went to school hating every motherfucking body. Like, you hear me? I cannot watch stuff like this, because I will just hate everybody. So we have Ving Rhames, Don Cheadle, we got Big Mama from Soul Food, Elise Neal, and Motherfucking John Voight. Oh, I hated John Voight in this movie. I must have hated John Voight. But you pretty much hated all the white people in this movie, except for that little boy. That little boy who daddy was trying to make him be racist. That little boy, yeah, we like that little boy. But the thing, of course, it's just like, it's kind of like what I just said with the pianist. I cannot stomach, and even more so cannot stomach, stories that I know are like really happened to Black people. I cannot see nothing with slavery. I cannot see nothing with like civil rights, and like I cannot, like I can't stomach it. I do not need to watch a dramatization on TV of like things happen, Black people being brutalized. My soul cannot take it. And I watched this movie, 9th grade. I'm almost 40, but I'm telling you, I remember this movie because that is stuck with me. But the thing that really just, at the time when I watched this, these days I cry very easy on movies. I be crying on Law and Order SVU, child. Like, I'm that show, Cold Case. I cry every single episode of Cold Case. When them dead people pop up for the detective lady to see, baby, waterworks. But at the time in 9th grade, I did not cry on movies. It didn't matter how sad, I just didn't. The only movie I had ever cried on in my life was Free Willy. And don't judge me, because they shouldn't have been messing with them animals. But I'm watching this movie, not crying, making it through the whole movie, which is, I mean, so then we get, basically the reason that this entire community of Black people was killed because this white lady was having an affair on her husband. Everybody knew she was having an affair, but she lied and said a Black man raped her. And even though everybody knew she was having an affair and nobody raped her, they still wouldn't just killed all the damn Black people because of the that's the story. But the thing that really broke me was everything comes to a head when it is this little kid's birthday, this little Black kid. It is his birthday. And the white lynch mob comes up to his house. And Big Mama go outside on the porch to talk to them white folk. And they shoot her. Good. Look. You. I can't say what I wanted to go to school and do because I can't even joke like that but y'all, they killed Big Mama on that little boy's birthday. Everybody gets massacred. And then Don Cheadle, the only way he made it out is because he had to hide in the coffin under his mama dead body. Oh, y'all. Oh, God, Jesus. We'll never watch this movie ever again. I saw it in 9th grade, went to school, just eyeing white people. Like, I could not. And this was the moment that I remember seeing Roots when I was like 10. Like, my grandma made all of us cousins watch it. But I feel like when, at least for me, I feel like I saw certain things when I was younger and essentially I understood it, but I didn't feel it, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a movie that's later on the list is a movie I saw as a kid and loved. And it's like I knew what essay was, essentially someone forcing themselves on you. Like I knew what it meant, but I didn't feel what it meant, if that makes sense. So like when I saw Roots at like 10, like I understood, but I did not feel. So when I saw Rosewood, excuse me, in 9th grade, like I felt that shit. Like I felt that shit. Like I felt, oh my God, massively. And that was the moment I said, I will never watch a movie like this ever again. And I haven't. I never saw 12 Years a Slave. Anything about a slave or Black people being free, but not being free, like stuff happening to them, I don't watch it. I don't watch it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Not for me. But boys don't cry. Woo, Jesus. From 1999, also biography drama movie. It follows Hilary Swank as a transgender man starting a new life in a new town. And basically, this character is born a woman, but goes to have a new identity in this town, living as a man. And it is discovered, and I have not seen this in 20 years. But if memory serves, because I see baby, I could see the scene in my head that really took me over the edge. But I think the guys that discover his identity were like his buddies. They were like his best friends, if I remember correctly. But they discover that he is born a she, has female parts and is masquerading. I don't want to say masquerading, living as a man, and brutally assault him. Y'all, this was another one of the, but I get in trouble going into movies blind. Like, I be telling y'all the best, like, most enjoyable, like, for movies is to just going blind. But baby, I done got into a lot of trouble going to stuff blind. This was another one, like Requiem for a Dream, where I'm just scrolling TV and I happened upon it. And I was kind of like, oh, Hilary Swank. Okay. Like, I just went to watch it. Got sucked in. Amazing movie. Very well written. Just, top tier. But baby, this was the moment in life as a movie fan that I said I will never watch a movie with the SA scene ever again in my life. So brutal, gut-wrenching, tragic, sad. It hurt my heart so bad that they did this. Like, oh God, Jesus. Yeah, it was too much. It was oh God, it was too much. So, trigger warning, the next few movies will deal with SA, like Boys Don't Cry. Eye for an Eye, my favorite childhood movie from 1996, crime, drama, thriller. We got Sally Field, we got Kiefer Sutherland, Ed Harris, we got Rossi from Criminal Minds, we got my man Keith David, and we got Samuel Jackson, Mama from Unbreakable. I cannot tell. This is another example of a movie I saw as a kid, but I knew what something meant, but I didn't feel what it meant. So we have two SA scenes in this movie, and this was my favorite movie as a kid. And it's a great movie. I love this movie, and it really hurts my heart that for the nostalgia, I cannot go back and watch this movie. And I actually tried to go back and watch it because it was lit. Y'all, I probably saw this movie 100 times when I was 10 years old, 10, 12, like, my favorite movie as a kid. But I cannot sit through those scenes. Like, I just cannot. Kiefer Sutherland plays a rapist, and he attacks Sally Field's daughter, Ed Harris' stepdaughter. She's a teenager. She's not even supposed to be home. She's there to, like, set things up for her little sister's birthday. And there is a scene when she's being assaulted on the phone with her mama. Motherfuckers. She's on, no, don't imagine. She's on the phone with her mother as she's been assaulted because she's on the phone with the mama. Kiefer Sutherland comes to the door. She opens the door. He assaults her. This woman, baby, Sally Field, baby, no, she can act. She running down the street, falling, screaming for help. Of course, she don't want to hang up the phone to call for help. So she trying to, but people just looking at her like she crazy, just a crazy white lady running down the street screaming, child. And Kiefer Sutherland later assaults this Hispanic lady, if I'm not mistaken, didn't speak English. We get a graphic scene of that. And honestly, the SA scenes are not like graphic. Like, there's no like nudity, but it's not something where it's just insinuated. Like, you see it. Like, I feel like they say that if you just see like no nudity, maybe like some thrusting, is not considered graphic. It's graphic to me. But objectively, both of the scenes aren't like nudity and like graphic scenes. But baby, it's graphic. He freaking, the Hispanic lady, he toss her around the kitchen like a rag doll, throw her on the table, rip her dress. Like, y'all, It's graphic to me. It's crazy. And this is I have not seen this movie in 20 years. I have not seen this movie since I was a kid. And I can still literally remember scene from scene everything in this movie. I remember this movie more than like Requiem for a Dream, stuff that I've seen because I saw it so much. It's burned into my brain. Memory burn. But Sally Field ends up going to a support group for I think it was parents who lost their kids or just people who lost somebody in general. And she comes across this like vigilante people in the group, and they don't kill nobody for you, but they help you to kill them and get away with it. You know, like what you need to do. And she pretty much sets up to start like stalking Kiefer Sutherland and all this stuff, and he go to the little girl, tough titty set the kitty, but the milk's still good. I don't know why I used to love that line when I was a kid, but she ends up setting it up for Kiefer Sutherland to come to her house and attack her while her husband and daughter, because she has like a child daughter. Oh yeah, I said the sister was getting ready for her birthday to attack her, and she's able to exact her revenge. And look, great movie. If you can handle it and you've never seen Eye for an Eye, watch it. It is literally, and I'm like, I literally wish I could. I cannot stomach those scenes. It's like when I was a kid and didn't really feel stuff like that, it was fine. But it was something about when I saw Boys Don't Cry, everything just kind of shifted. I don't know if it was my age and like having more of an understanding emotionally of what SA is, but everything changed when I saw Boys Don't Cry. And I was just like, I cannot watch a SA scene in a movie. Like I can't. I will not do it. No matter how much I want to see a movie, if it has an SA scene, I'm not going to watch it. The Hills Have Eyes too. 2007 horror. It is of course, far lesser sequel from the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, but I actually really like this movie. Like I actually really enjoyed this. We have a group of soldiers in the desert battling, the mutants, and we have my baby, who I just knew I was gonna marry, Lee Thompson Young Child, famous Jet Jackson. You couldn't tell me I was not gonna marry that man when I was a teenager. I was so obsessed. So rest in peace to him. We have Flex Alexander in here, and it's actually like a good, enjoyable horror movie. Like it's actually good, but we got an SA scene. So it is one that I can never watch again. The female soldier gets kidnapped by the damn nasty, disgust mutant. And he assaults her. And if memory serves, it was like 2 assault scenes, and to me graphic, but again, if memory serves, it's not like nudity graphic, but you can clearly see he's so yeah, another one I can never see again because of content that I cannot handle it. I can't sit through it. I just can't. Wind River from 2017 crime drama. A wildlife officer and an FBI agent are trying to solve the case of a murdered Native American woman. We got my husband, my baby, John Berthenel. I love me some of that man. Oh, Lord, that is my husband in my mind. We got Jeremy Renner and we have Elizabeth Olsen. This is the newest movie on this list. I want to say I saw this for the first time years ago. I want to say I saw it on Netflix. I can't remember, child. But anyway, it's a really good movie. Pretty slowly paced, but I was very intrigued with the mystery and everything going good. Because by the time I saw this, I had my rule of I don't watch anything with the SA scene. I did not know this movie had that. And this was the movie where I started going online to check like the parental guidance before I see movies. I need to know if it's an SA scene before I see a movie. Like I can't. This disturbed my soul. We're going on through the movie, and if I remember correctly, they tell the story as like a flashback because the girl is found dead and we're on the case, but we also go back to kind of relive what happened to her. John Berthenel, friend, he's in a relationship with a Native American girl, and they're having an intimate moment in bed, and his friends come in and assault his girlfriend. And of course, he is trying to like, well, I won't say of course, because you never know how it could go, but he's trying to, he doesn't want this to happen. He's trying to help her and protect her, but it's like only one of him and it's a group of his friends. And finally, he's able to like be able to get her free and tell her to like run. And she literally has to just run out in the snow in the middle of nowhere, half naked, no shoes on. And if memory serves, that's how she died. They didn't kill her. She froze to death, if I remember. But yeah, it's a scene I cannot handle. And if memory serves, it's way less graphic of a essay scene. But even if it's just like thrusting and you see the person kind of moving as a result of like, that's too much for me. Like that's graphic to me. But again, not like nudity or anything like really, really graphic. But I can't do it. I can't not do it. So those are the movies that I will never see again. And honorable mentions for Colored Girls Will Never See Again. That also had essay scene. Now, House at the End of the Street. No, House at the End to the Left. What is that damn movie called? House at the End on the Left or something like that. What is that damn movie called? The Last House on the Left. I never saw the original, but the 2009 remake, I absolutely love The Last House on the Left. There is an essay scene. I do rewatch this movie, but I do not watch the essay scene. I skip over it. Like, you know how you can jump the movie? I skip over it. So that is one that I do rewatch, but I just skip the scene. And I feel like I'm missing something. Precious is another movie I will never see again. And that's what I mean. Like, I am not that person that can call a movie like Precious a good movie. Like, seeing something like that is not fun or entertaining to me in any way. So I can't really call that a good movie. Essay and all kinds of abuse is in Precious. So yeah, that's something I will never see again. Yeah, never watching them again. And I hate the fact that most of those movies on the list that I will never see again aren't anything that I even care to see again outside of Eye for an Eye for the because it's a great movie and the nostalgia of that's my favorite childhood movie. But outside of that, it's nothing that I even care to see again. So it doesn't really bother my movie life. But what bothers my movie life is the whole not watching anything with an essay scene. I really wanted to see like The Last Duel that came out, but I checked the parental thing. And I knew the premise of the movie, but I thought it would be set up where the audience didn't know who was telling the truth or lying. I didn't think it would be like a scene, an essay scene, but yeah, there is. So I could never see that movie. So that bothers me more. That really irks me is when I can't watch something because of essay. That's why I have never seen The Handmaid's Tale. Ain't that whole movie just surrounding women being essay? Like I don't want to have anything to do with that. But everybody raves about it, and I be wanting to see it, but I'm not sitting through that. So I'm gonna check a few comments and then we're gonna get out of here because I said we keeping it short. Hey pretty girl, hey Nikki, you always surprise me with your lives. I love and make sure y'all have your notifications on. Keep a lookout because I have like 5 lives scheduled this week. Anybody that was here for my other live I did that was just pissing me the hell off because I was having connection issues and I said I wasn't finna buy the dumb extender that AT&T claimed I needed to buy because I'm literally about to move in like 6 weeks. But I went on ahead and just damn paid for the damn thing, child. Because I really want to do my lives. I feel like I'm just in a wave of wanting to just do my content live so I can eliminate having to edit because it is so it's time consuming. It is very, very time consuming. I've heard of this movie, never seen it though. Which movie? Oh, Martyrs. Hey, Kat, the pianist traumatized me, and I am Polish Jew. I cried out loud in the theater on my friend. I'm telling you, like, I was depressed. It was like a dark cloud over me. Like, I hate watching stuff like that. It really just sticks to my gut, it sticks to my spirit. Oh my God. Really, really, really bother me. Really get me. Oh my God. Like, I can't see people suffer, even if it's a movie and we know nothing is actually happening to Adrian Brody. But I can't see people suffer when I know people actually suffered in real life. Like, I cannot watch something that's based on things that really happen to people. Like, I will be very, very affected. Very. If you ever saw some film footage from World War II unedited, you never want to see it again. It greatly upset me that human beings could do that to another human. Yeah, same. But what really disturbs me is I remember watching The Pianist and feeling like that could probably happen today. Like, I feel like the soldiers and people that did horrific things. Like, I remember watching an episode of Law and Order where this old lady had survived the concentration camp, and she ran into somebody that was an officer and had like killed her sister, and he was just living a regular old motherfucking life in New York. Like, I feel like it was regular people. It was literally regular people with wives and families, and it like scares me, and I hate watching stuff like that because I will literally walk around hating everybody. Like, if you had the chance, you probably do some stuff like that. And I even think of like the people that work in like dairy factories and all these factories for food and stuff in a grocery store. Like, you're literally torturing animals and living beings. Like, I don't know, it makes me lose like faith in humanity. Like, I cannot. Well, I'll really go off to like a dark, like off a deep end, real dark. Like, I I can't do it. I can't do it. Yes, I was at a predominantly white high school. Yes, they shot Big Mama. And she was up there talking monkey sense. That old lady said, "Y'all know you know your wife sleep the hell around. You know she be hoeing out." And they shot her. Oh man, it just Rosewood, baby. Oh my God. Oh, Rosewood did something to me, child. Cause I was walking around looking at every white person like my nigga. Like, I was. Oh my God. I cry when watching Law and Order Oh, baby, that okay, so it ain't just me. I be crying on episodes of SVU. I really can't even watch SVU no more. And I don't know how I used to. That was like one of my favorite shows. I used to watch it all the time. I have not watched it in ages. Like, I cannot stomach it. I be crying on every episode of Cold Case. And I be like happy, like, okay, I made it through the whole episode. I made it. But the second they have the victim that was killed pop up as a ghost for that female detective to see, that always breaks me every single time. Yes, they shot poor Florida Evans for telling the motherfucking truth. They knew it. Just wanted to ruin Black success. The whites were poor and lived worse in that movie. Yes, yes. And was just like, how, you know what? Let's not even go down that road because I'm a. Would I be looking for trouble? What you talking about? I ain't did nothing. It's not easy going into a movie blind nowadays because of trailers popping up. Anytime people say this, I'm calling a bluff. I go into movies blind. I completely blind. I cannot remember the last time I saw. Wait, no, that's a lie because I can't remember. But even if I go to the movie theater where they show like trailers before the movie, baby, I'm not gonna go in there. Like, I do not watch. I really think it is not that hard. I do not watch previews. Every single movie y'all see me talk about on my channel, I go into blind. And y'all probably sick of me saying it. Every time I review a movie, I'll be like, I went into this blind, or I didn't even see it. I didn't know. Literally, I go into everything blind. It can be done. And if I'm watching TV or something like that, or I'm on YouTube, baby, mute, don't look, skip. like there, you don't have to watch the trailers, TG. Hey KD, thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Let's see. I'm just going to get to maybe one more comment. Yes, there are those movies that are good but so traumatic that it's hard to say they're good, like Mississippi Burning. Okay, so it's not just me. Because I'm just like, it is always so weird to me when people like rave about movies of a certain content. Like, how did you have fun watching that? Like, it is just like, okay, so it's not just me. Because I feel like anything I watch, it's like escapism. Like, it's fun for me to watch. Like, I get some type of enjoyment out of movies and TV shows. So something of a certain context, I can't really say like that's enjoyable or that was like a good movie. Objectively, I can say it's like a well-made movie, well written, but Precious was a hood film to appreciate the acting to the public once is enough. Too heavy and powerful of a film of domestic violence. Yeah, Mariah Carey got ugly for that role. So, you know. King Nikki, go see Godzilla -1. Enough said. You know what? Somebody said that in another live. I'm not really a Godzilla fan, but I will check it out. But thank y'all for showing up to the live. And we also have, let's see. We have 2 lives tomorrow that are going to be back to back. My top 10 most anticipated upcoming movies for 2024, as well as my top 10 most anticipated upcoming 2024 TV shows. We're doing both of those tomorrow, 8:15 for the first one, and then about 9:15 or 10 o'clock for the second one. And then on Friday, I will be going live to discuss Netflix Leave the World Behind. Saturday, I will be going live to discuss It's a Wonderful Knife. So that is all of our upcoming content this week. I will also be doing The Lodge, Christmas horror movie for members, and that will be, you know, an edited video. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I also want to do my P2 movie review, another of my favorite Christmas horror movies. Since, you know, it's Christmas time, I figured I'd do some Christmas horror reviews. And I might just have an impromptu live randomly one day, maybe Sunday if I'm not tired, or maybe Monday, to go through my favorite December watches, like my must watch December movies that I always watch for December. But thank y'all. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting. And I will see you tomorrow.